crazy. Not the heavy favorites that we were saying, like the minus 240s, minus 370s, that kind of thing. We got a minus 185 pick, a minus 120, a plus 120, a plus 130, and a minus 210.
Wait, so I don't know. Maybe we should take one of them out and put Allen in. I think Allen's gonna win.
Allen at a plus 150?
Yeah, I want to get.
What do you want to take out? Michael's the most favorite at minus 210.
Okay.
You want to get him out of there?
I think he's gonna win.
Or do you want to go with somebody else?
Let's take out. So who was I having? I had Ivan.
We had Ivan at minus 185. Yeah. Sultan at minus 120. Raphael plus 120. Shamil plus 130. Michael minus 210. Allen plus 150.
Let's take out Raphael.
Let's take out Raphael?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Setting up a round robin.
Yep.
How many you want to do? Three team?
I always do threes, but I don't know.
How much you want to risk?
50 cents each. I don't know.
$1 each. You got it. Done.
How much did it cost?
Cost $10. Possible winnings 59 something.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. 59.52.
There we go. So I think that Allen has a really good value. Man, especially after like Christoph Jocko.
Is he as hairy as his doppelganger?
Allen? Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, man.
Yeah, so...
It's meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, Christoph's last win was November 2016. Jocko? Yeah. I mean, he's fought really good competition, but... I mean, there's something about it. This Allen guy, though, if you watch his tape, he's really well-rounded. He's really good. Even though he's been fighting... I mean, he's been fighting guys with really good records, though, but I mean, he really hasn't been fighting anyone good. Bellator, but I think that's a really good value. I like that.
Perfect.
I put $5.
Well, hey, do you want to make any other bets, or you want to go with just that and call it good?
Yeah, we can just call it good.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So, hey, we risked $11 today. Got the possibility of winning over $1,300. You know, that 12 fight parlay, pretty unlikely.
Yeah, it's
but if it hits,
unlikely.
Hey, we only risked $1. I'm not upset about that.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into the recap of UFC 236,
yeah,
got a little article I wanted to share, kind of throw it in between, just because we're talking about the fight. So this fight, you know, happening on 420. What a lot of people relate to is the day of the stoner. And I found a little article is pretty interesting. Top 10 MMA fighters who support cannabis. Now,
probably know number 1 and number 2.
Give me your guess.
Nick and Nate Diaz.
You are absolutely correct. Nate Diaz at number 1. They say, you know, he's a doesn't give a damn kind of guy.
Right.
In your face, smash mouth. You know, makes sense.
Yeah.
Number 3. You want to take a guess at who they have at number 3?
Yeah. Clay Guida.
No. Guy that just had his return fight pretty recently, was out of the UFC for a little while, serving a suspension for a different doping incident.
John Jones.
We got Mr. John Jones.
Okay. What is this, like Huffington Post or something?
No, it's the Medium.
Bloody elbow. Okay. All right, so John Jones.
Number 4 was kind of surprising. I haven't heard much history about this, but Ronda Rousey.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that either. I didn't hear much about that. Yeah.
Apparently she made a statement after Nick Diaz was unfairly punished for his use. Ronda stated that she's used cannabis in her past in her book, My Fight, Your Fight. And some people have speculated her use of cannabis while she's been seen hanging out with the Diaz brothers.
Yeah.
So basically, it all comes full circle, right back to the Diaz brothers.
Yeah, if you're hanging out with the Diaz brothers, you're high.
The next one that I'm seeing, I'm skimming through the description of it. Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
Nick and Nate Diaz.
Yeah. Sean O'Malley's kind of funny though. He was like he was doing this radio show while he was fighting. This was before like podcasts were super huge. And I remember seeing him specifically fight, oh my gosh, this guy that was a hockey player. I forgot his name though. But he's kind of a weird guy. He's been in Fighters League, and he got to the championship fight and he lost. But he's a really funny guy. He has a heck of a chin too.
Man.
Yeah. Wait, no. I'm talking about a different guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about a different guy. Yeah.
The last guy I even want to talk about, I'll round out the top 10 for you guys, but just to touch on this one. Number 6, Mike Perry. He apparently volunteered to fight Nick Diaz kind of once his suspension was over. And he was quoted saying on Twitter, "If Nick Diaz wants to fight, I'd be down to welcome him back. We can smoke weed all week together. I'd still put these hands on him." And he even tweeted at the UFC on that one. So that's pretty ballsy.
The guy I was thinking of is Sean O'Connell. So,
oh, okay.
It starts with a name. Just want to let you guys know I wasn't just making someone up. Sean O'Connell is the guy I was thinking of.
Sean O'Connell not on my list of the top 10. But rounding it out, I got Donald Cerrone, Brandon Vera, Jake Shields, and Matt Riddle.
Okay. So Matt Riddle got kicked out and went to pro wrestling because he was smoking pot. Jake Shields.
Oh, wow.
Jake Shields looks like he never smoked pot in his life, but he hangs out with the Diaz brothers. So that's why he's on the list. Jake Shields is in their camp. He's like one of their main jiu-jitsu guys. Say that 10 times fast. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu guys?
I was just messing around. Yeah, so I don't know. I think we could have wrote a better article than that.
I would think so. Dude, but hey, for just a quick search, just
I appreciate it, but it feels like they're just throwing out the
gimmies,
big name people.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey once mentioned marijuana. John Jones has been caught with cocaine, so he probably smokes marijuana.
That's a good point.
It's like Clay Guida traveled with the dead. Like, he was obviously smoking pot.
With, like, the Grateful Dead?
Well, it was after Jerry died. They were, like, the Dead for a while.
Oh, gotcha.
So he had one of those vans, and he'd travel with them.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
Yeah, this murderer of a UFC fighter just traveling with the Dead. It's crazy.
Hey,
and he hung out with the Diaz brothers. So
double-edged sword right there.
I know.
That comes in at our honorable mention in this top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
we can replace it with number top 4 and kick Ronda Rousey on out of there.
Yeah, I would think so.
Hey, just like I said, just a little fun. But
Clay Guida's fighting BJ Penn soon. BJ Penn has looked bad recently, which sucks because he was one of my favorite fighters. Man, BJ Penn was a beast back in the day. He'd fight any weight class. He didn't care. Then he'd do a flying knee, and then he'd lick the blood off his gloves.
Whoa.
Now he's getting knocked out, like, all the time. Sucks.
Knocked out left and right?
Yeah, Frankie Edgar, then Yair Rodriguez, and he looks like he doesn't have a chance. Now he's fighting Clay Guida, who Clay Guida has a layoff, but Clay Guida's going to come in there fast, and he's gonna beat him. So that's coming up, though. Well, you want to talk about this UFC 236?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's touch on kind of. You want to go over just like main card stuff?
Yeah, I'll go over main card. You want
to go through the whole fight?
No. Main card's fine. I'm trying to think if there's any. Yeah, it's really just the main card. So Nikita Krylov beat OSP. He did a submission rear naked choke. Nikita Krylov lost to OSP before by a Von Flue choke, which now they're trying to call the OSP choke. Joe Rogan's heading that thing. OSP gassed himself out, though. That's what really happened. Nikita was trying to go for a guillotine again, and OSP tried to get to the Von Flue choke again and almost had it, but Nikita was against the cage and had some leverage against it. Yeah, I mean, it was a heck of a... I wouldn't mind seeing these guys run it back another time. I love seeing OSP fight. He's great, but Nikita needed a win, and he's back on the upper trajectory. He looks pretty good. Next fight was a split decision, Dwight Clark versus Alan Jouban. A lot of people had money on Alan Jouban, and he ended up losing. He was an underdog, so he was like this underdog pick that a lot of people put money on, and Dwight Clark edged him out.
Dwight Grant?
So like Dwight Grant, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm clicking around. You're going to hear my mouse for a second. But Jouban, man, he's been... So he went on this little tear that made him look really good. He has a lot of fights in the UFC. Let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 fights in the UFC, so he's been around for a bit. He beat a lot of really well-rounded guys. Bilal Muhammad, who won on the same card. Mike Perry, who was on your list of 420 smokers. And then he beat... he beat Mike Perry, and then Gunnar Nelson beat him, and then Nico Price beat him, and then he beat Ben Saunders that had no reason to be in the UFC at that point. And then he lost to Dwight Clark right now. I think Dwight Clark really just kind of brought it some more. I was kind of rooting for Alan Jouban. He's an older fighter, even though he looks young. I just kind of like the guy, but I don't disagree with the decision. Some people were really upset about it, but I don't disagree with it. There was a 30-27 in Jouban's favor. That was only one of those in his favor. The whole fight was really close, though. It's one of those things that you gotta do more than, but next one, if we had the UFC podcast, would have probably predicted this. Khalil Roundtree beating Eric Anders. Eric Anders came out. Khalil Roundtree was just too fast. He did like this Muay Thai stuff and just was way too fast. Anyway, he looks pretty good, but I don't think I think that people are still going to be able to beat Khalil Roundtree, especially if they want to wrestle him, if good wrestlers go against him. Next, Israel Adesanya against Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum had Israel rocked for a little bit, went for a takedown. I forgot what round it was. But after that, Israel, man, he was putting it to Kelvin. Kelvin's chin really made him have some more damage than he probably should have. But Israel won that for sure, and I really enjoyed that. And then Dustin Poirier beat Max Holloway, unanimous decision, 49-46. Like both these guys, Max Holloway looked a little. I think that their strikes were around the same, but Poirier just had way too much power. Those two main events, both for the belts, have 4 guys that are all pretty respectable, and it's like you'd root for them all. So it was kind of a fun pay-per-view that way, but it was sad to see some of these guys lose, especially Max Holloway. That guy's awesome. Yeah. I don't really have much to say. Like, there wasn't really much controversial, I don't think. I think people are going to say that Jouban loss is controversial, but I don't think it was.
The one thing that I'm not excited to see...
Can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me?
No. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear a faint. There's a faint,
Hello?
very faint voice.
Hello?
Getting closer.
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Um,
There you are. You're back.
I'm back?
Yeah, you're back.
That is very weird. I don't know necessarily what that was about, but hey,
Technical difficulties, yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
What I was saying before you couldn't hear me is the one thing that I'm not happy to see.
Oh, it cut out again, dude. You said the one thing and it cut out.
Can you hear me again
No. Maybe adjust the cord. Is there a cord back